music? Oh, because it needs to go here. Talk to me nice. Talk to me honestly. Look in my eyes. Don't let it fall on me. Say you're a good guy. Make me believe it. Don't wanna hear it. Did somebody move this? I wanna see it. Good morning.
What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? What it is, what it was, what it shall be.
What? You coming up with the little stuff this morning?
That's old school. That's 70s action right there. What it is, blood?
What you know about the 70s?
Hey, I was alive during this. Boom, boom, boom.
You was a little shorty.
Yep. I was a shorty in the 70s.
Is it gonna keep doing this again? Why is it doing that? I moved it. We rewind. It feels so nice. I can't help how to sweet talk. We're gonna sweet talk y'all this morning. Come on in here. We're live. We're ready to go.
Yes, yes, yes. Sweet talking. Talking about the DMV, not the Department of Motor Vehicles.
I know. Isn't it funny how people think that?
We speak of
Good morning.
the District of Columbia.
Oh, I forgot to change this funny looking
great
thing. Let me see
state
if I
of
can change it right
Maryland.
now.
In the Commonwealth of Virginia, aka the DMV. You know, some people call it the district. This is my brother-in-law. My brother-in-law's from DC. Yeah, man, the district, up in the district. What's going on, Tamara? Good morning. Good
I like
morning.
that background.
What's that, baby? What background? Oh, okay.
Let's do the corner radius.
Please, Tracy, making some adjustments on the fly. The show producer.
See how that looks.
The hostess
I
with
like
the
that better.
mostest. Yeah, but see,
Oh,
the
no,
white's out.
I know,
Yeah.
I know. Hold on, let me fix it.
Yeah, you might have to go to a color background.
Let's
Yeah, keep it simple. You going purple?
Huh?
You going purple? Or you gonna go stay blue? We got a purple light in the back. It's like a royal blue right
There
there.
we go. Let's do this one. That one looks familiar. Let's see how that looks. We're going to do it again for Tamara. Happy Saturday.
Hey, Tam.
Can y'all hear us? I don't know what's going on with our stuff. We thought we fixed it. Can you hear us? At least it looks like we're still live.
But the music's gone.
Let's see.
Gonna bring the music back.
I think the music's gone. But why is the music gone?
Yes.
I'm gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay.
It's gonna be all right.
It looks like I need to just spend more money.
It's
just
gonna be
so
all right.
weird.
Gonna be all right.
You know,
It's gonna be all
so
right.
weird that I have to spend more money now. I gotta fix this.
So you wanted to be 6 minutes.
Okay, there we go. But we're still live. That's good. That's good. That's a good thing.
Yep.
We in the building today.
What up, Notable?
Okay. Thank you for not missing another show, Notable. Welcome to the show. Sorry, we're having some technical difficulties again.
Notable, like we up in here in the building.
There we go. We
We're
got
doing great.
5
We're
more
doing
minutes.
great on this Saturday morning.
We are. Good morning. Talking again?
Is it me? Is it my mic?
Is it us?
Last week you said you thought it had to do with both of our mics, but I don't think that's what
Yeah,
it
it has something
I
to
think
do.
else.
It's something else, and we are so sorry. We're gonna have to just keep it going.
Mm-hmm. You gonna do the whole show like this?
Oh my God!
Or you gonna cancel the show?
No, I ain't gonna cancel the
You
show.
gonna do the whole show like this?
You want to cancel the show?
No, I don't cancel the
I
show.
ain't canceling the show. We just gonna have to do the show like this. Let's see if we can get the music going again now, because we like our music.
And we like our community.
We still have 4 minutes left.
Mm-hmm.
So we still have 4 minutes for the angels to come down and get this mess right.
Come
Okay?
on. Come on.
Now we're not. Yeah, we're still live. We're still live. Hang in there. Hang in there.
Come on, tech angels.
Oh, help me, Jesus.
Tech angels, go forth. Wherever is crooked, make it straight.
Nev, good morning.
What's up, Nev?
Good morning.
Neve Santos
Our
in the
music
building.
is not.
What's up, Neve?
It's saying it's playing. It's saying it's playing.
It is? It's playing somewhere else?
It's playing in my head.
We appreciate you.
So how many minutes we got now?
Love back to you, Neve. 4 minutes.
Okay. This is gonna be fun for our editor. I'm gonna leave it alone.
Okay. Let's see what
Maybe that's what the problem is,
happens.
right? Maybe that's what it is.
What do you mean leave it alone?
Because every time I hit a button, it goes. Y'all, literally, every time I hit a button over here, everything goes out. Just everything goes out. You know? Let's get some love going this morning. Oh, we love this, guys. Good morning, Neve. Love this channel. We love you back.
Appreciate you, Neve.
Adam, welcome. With
Adam Shelton in the building.
Oh, the music came back that time.
BCC.
With the beach in the background.
My man Adam Shelton, shout out. Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday to you.
Oh, we're working on the collaborations. We're working on our schedule is just so tight. So it takes us like a month to clear our schedule. Like this is like one of the few things we literally do every weekend. And I guess people just have more time than we do. I don't know.
Neve, is there someone that comes back?
Yeah, go ahead.
Neve, is there someone particular that you'd like to see us collaborate with? That would be interesting to know. Or just collaboration in general. Okay.
This is we got to keep going now. The show must go on.
The show must go on.
The show must go on. We're still live. The show must go on.
Yeah, 2 minutes. Yeah. You got it right. The timer's right.
I like the dedication. You two have this every Saturday. We do.
Neve appreciates the
Have we heard the whole song yet? I can't believe we haven't heard my whole song.
We haven't heard the whole song yet?
I'm so sad. This is the only time I hear this song.
I mean, you do have the latitude to play it during the week.
But I don't.
On Saturdays.
Yeah, we only play it on Saturday. Now, everything went out that time.
Is that you think it's our electrical circuit? Are we overloading it?
No, because everything doesn't go out.
Right.
It's like the lights don't. Did the light go out?
No, the light did go out.
No, it's not the electricity. Yeah,
It's a software hardware issue. We're gonna power through it today, team, and we'll see if we can get to the core of the issue.
I'm gonna try again. I worked on it this week, but obviously that wasn't the answer. So I might go live later this week just to test. So if you see us pop in live later this week, you'll see we're just testing stuff.
It's all good.
So welcome to the show. We got about 35 seconds left. Come on in, get your coffee, get your tea. We got some cool things to talk about. We're gonna do Q&A. Q&A, get your questions ready. We're gonna do Q&A.
Mm-hmm.
So get your questions ready. I already put that one up there. You like that one? Want to put that one back up there?
Michael Preston said this is a great channel.
We love it. We love it. We try to do different things on this channel.
Shout out to Michael Preston.
And let us know. We're going to do some more lives. But it's not going to be just DMV. It's going to be other stuff. I got to get this one on board, though. He works so hard, guys. Good morning, Emar. Oh, this was sweet.
What up, Emma?
Y'all see my oak might bite? Oh, it's time to go. Let's go.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to Conversation with Heath and Tracy. We are so glad that you're with us on this beautiful Saturday morning. Queen Tracy and I are here every Saturday morning at 11 a.m. EST to demystify your move to the DMV. And you can also ask us anything.
Ask us anything. Just going in and out. Let me stop being distracted by our technical difficulties this morning. We are here for you this morning through the little glitches.
Yes.
If you have a question, go ahead and put it in the comments. Mm-hmm. This is the best time to ask us a question. If you don't catch us, though, we do have a calendar that we'll have in the description that you can make an appointment with us if you want to have more one-on-one. We love the one-on-ones with you guys. It just gives us a lot of insight into what you're looking for, who's moving to the city, things like that.
Yes, and if you are thinking about moving to the DMV, we definitely want
to help you. We want to help you. We wish we had more help. Even though we'd lived here before, it changed so much.
We are here for you. We are here for you.
So a few things we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about the more demographic stuff that's coming out about DC. So cool. Such cool information.
Yep.
New transportation issues. We're not going to talk about a neighborhood today. No problem. If y'all have a neighborhood you want us to talk about, go ahead and let us know. We answer all of our comments usually throughout the week.
We do.
So go ahead and put those in the comments or put it in a DM, whatever.
Yes.
We're easy to find.
Yes.
And then if you, like I said, if you want a private one-on-one session, there's going to be a link below after the show.
Yep. Hit us up.
Here we go. It's okay. Hang in there. Design Your Life is going to be.
Can changing your mind make you less anxious, more often, and more successful?
What?
Can changing your mind make you less anxious, write more often, and more successful? We're going to talk about it.
So changing my mind.
Yeah, we're going to talk about it.
Can it make me less anxious?
Yep.
Write more often. You know I like that part. And more successful.
Yes. We're going to bring some designing your life nuggets to the audience today.
Okay. Good morning, Ron.
My man Ron Hisson in the building.
Checking in from the ATL. Time here.
My name is Heath.
And I'm Tracy.
Tracy and I are parents, podcasters, and joyfully married after 31 years. Hey, if you want some positivity and an upbeat vibe in your Saturday, join us here every Saturday morning at 11 a.m. EST, where we are talking about the DMV.
And if you need help relocating to the area, take a second and subscribe.
Hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button while you're at it.
Yeah, the like button helps us let everybody know, hey, I like what I'm seeing. seeing. So hit that like button.
Yeah.
Pumps up the algorithm.
And if you're new here to the show, if this is your first time here, make sure you type new you down in the comments so we know you are new to the show. We want to chop it up with you, meet you after the show. So thank you.
Welcome to Conversations with Heath and Tracy.
Boom. Welcome back to Conversation with Heath and Tracy.
We just love it when you guys join us on Saturday mornings. It's like you could be doing something else, you know?
They could.
But you're here with us, and we really appreciate it.
They could be multitasking.
Okay. I mean, I think that's cool, too. We're thinking about turning this into a podcast.
Mm-hmm.
We got a lot of things on the plate. I'm redoing the website.
Yep.
We're going to do more lives probably we're thinking Monday nights.
Okay.
And that will be around Joyfully Married After. We're going to start, basically we haven't had time to record our podcast. So we're trying to combine it with a live show on Monday nights. So we're probably going to do that on Monday nights, Joyfully Married After live shows.
And some people in our audience have.
And I'm working on you guys being able to join our show and ask your questions live.
Ooh.
But it looks like I need to get my technical stuff together. Right? Okay, Notable. Here we come.
Oh, we got the flower shout out. Flower game.
We got the flower shout out coming. Let's get it.
Here we go.
Let's see if I can put some music in. Don't talk too much.
Here we go, Notable.
Oh, no, not that one.
Flower game. So this week, as you can see, the hydrangeas are back for you and me.
These are different hydrangeas, though. Aren't
The
they?
hydrangeas.
Baby, you got dead stuff in here.
It's not dead, baby.
Yes, it is. I'm shocked.
It's
I'm shocked right now.
no, that's connected to the aromatic purple joints.
Yeah, these should look like these. You got happy with it, baby.
It's okay, baby.
Okay, I'm gonna fix it.
It's all right, y'all. This is what we got going on. We got
I have to look at this all week.
We got a few roses in here.
And guys, the secret when you pick this stuff, you got to let it sit in the water, because if you don't let it sit in the water, you're gonna bring the bugs in the house.
Yeah, in the garden, there's a lot of
they're insects.
insect life. So the trick with the hydrangeas is you take them and you put them upside down in the water and you let them sit for like 24 hours.
Yeah.
And then whatever bugs or anything in there, it'll come out in the water.
Right.
And then you can take them out. You put them in here, you're good. You
Right.
don't have to worry about your woman screaming.
I didn't do that.
No, that's what my daughters do.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, this is what he used to do for us when we first moved in the house, because we had so many flowers in the yard. He would make vases like this for each one of the women in the house. And our youngest daughter would get it and she'd find a bug and she'd literally throw the flowers out of her room. So she doesn't like the flowers anymore. But it's okay. It's okay. Good morning, Charmaine. Welcome to the show.
What's up, Charmaine?
Yes, thank you.
Appreciate you.
We appreciate you so much. We appreciate you.
No,
Okay.
I cut the flowers yesterday.
Oh,
So
he went out at dusk, y'all. Let me tell you something about the flowers. And he's strong. He went out at dusk, and right now in the DC area, to go out at dusk is risking the oat mites.
Yeah.
See this right here? I don't know if y'all can see that. Can I turn mine? Yeah, it's like these little tiny vampires outside. And you don't know they're on you, literally. While they're biting you. You like in your bed at night and you're like, what's crawling on me? And then you wake up the next morning and have these welts on you. So we've got oat mites right now, and it's because we had the cicadas. They're eating the cicada eggs. Child, who knows?
Insect gang.
Who knows?
It's all good.
So I wanted to talk about this is the little news for those of you that are moving here and you're thinking about living in Virginia, like outside of the Beltway.
Mm-hmm.
They're really trying to pump up the commuter situation. Remember we told you that if you live I-95 south, it gets really tough to commute into the city.
Traffic is crazy.
It's really bad. It's like we don't even go that way unless it's 6 o'clock in the morning or 9 o'clock at night.
But
that's how bad it is. Oh, but the real estate down there, they have everything down there. First of all, they have a Publix down there. I wish we could get a Publix this way.
It's okay.
It's coming. It's coming. We got a lot of other stuff though. It's crazy. So The Virginia Railway Express is like the train. So in Maryland, I think we told you there's the MARC train. And then Virginia, it's the Virginia Railway Express.
Or the VRE.
So, yeah, the commuters who drive I-95 between Fredericksburg, we told you about Fredericksburg, a lot of people commute from there, and D.C. will not be surprised to hear that they face consistently the worst traffic in the nation. And I guarantee you it is so true.
Yeah.
So it's really thick because it's just one highway. It's just one highway, literally, that takes you. And if there's an accident, forget it. Just forget it.
And they've been widening it.
They've been widening it, but it's like, how far are they going to have to keep going to widen it?
It's just getting worse.
It's getting worse. So after decades of lane widening only worsened congestion due to increased demand, because people are like, oh, it's cheaper in Woodbridge. Oh, it's cheaper in Fredericksburg. I can live down here. I can get a nice house for a few $100,000 cheaper and still commute into work into D.C.
Right.
So it's just been, the growth has been just like booming.
Yep.
So the governor, Ralph Northam, he said he's doubled down on increasing the train service to make it faster, cheaper, and greener, because they got to get the cars off the road. So ridership is down, of course, like 90% since the panorama began.
Yep.
And so what they're going to do, I just love this idea. So right now it's just 9 to 5. And that really is kind of discriminatory because it's only for the
white collar workers.
I hate that term.
The people who work in offices.
9 to 5. That's what we're going to call it.
The 9 to 5 crew.
Right, because people don't wear that stuff to work anymore. And so it brings on a different connotation.
9 to 5 crew.
So the people that work in office buildings that work during the day, it was really only for them. So the people that were in the service industry, daycare, your restaurant people, they weren't getting this option. So now they're going to try to make it like Metro and make it go further, longer, more stop, different hours to try to get more people on the train. That's the first thing they're trying to do. And the second thing they're trying to offer the service to people that work differently than what the actual reason for the commuter train was for.
Yeah, it's a really interesting article. I was reading through it, and it was a lot of dialogue that's really dealing with kind of the future, right? So they're projecting out, what does that system look like in 2040? And
right.
How do you make the adjustments? And what happens, what happens in other countries around transportation and rail? And so you have kind of these developments that are centered around the train stops in most other parts of the world, like in Asia, like in Europe, where rail is very germane to how people move about. And so this is really interesting, where in the U.S., the rails are essentially, you go to the rail station and it's just parking lots, right? Because people are commuting into the rail, parking their car, and then taking the train into wherever it is they're going. But the idea here is that over time, what they'd like to see is more development, more mixed-use development around the commuter stations. And so now if you can live and work and play all in that same area where you're commuting into the city, and especially as we get into more telework and as the panorama
hybrid
has
working,
shown us these hybrid scenarios where people are maybe working at home 3 days a week, going into the office 2 days a week or whatever it is, it makes sense that you will have kind of these hybrid approaches, as well as the adjustment in the schedules, because people are now able to go in and out of the city at different times, predicated on what their needs are. So I think it's really smart of these systems and these municipalities to be thinking in this way.
And if you remember, last week we talked about how Metro was actually purchasing and they're like becoming developers, and they're building, I think it was West Falls Church. They're building a development, a live, work, and shopping development right over the metro station, because they don't want people to just drive your car to the metro station. That whole suburban feel thing, they want to make centers all around, just to make everyone's life, raise everyone's lifestyle, make everyone accessible, and make everything accessible for everyone.
And I was really getting a sense of this when I took my trip to New York a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, okay.
And it was just so eye-opening, right? When we left the Union Station, the next thing I knew, we stopped in Baltimore and some more people got on, right? And then we went a little further, and then some people in Philly got on, right? And then I looked up, and the next thing I know, I was in New York. It was like, and I was thinking to myself, this is so cool that people can move about back and forth in these kind of metropolitan areas and get to where they need to get to based on their work and other things that they need to accomplish. So I could really see how it could evolve into this kind of thing and make those stops more frequent and tailor it around people's schedules, not just in your regular 9 to 5,
Right.
but in all day and all peak hours, and just allowing people to use it in a more commuter fashion.
Yeah, and I think it's important that the reason why we're bringing it up today is because if you move to this area, what you'll find is it's so many different places to live. And that's why we decided to do a show. At first, we were just going to do a few videos, kind of like what we did with North Carolina. But the difference is there's so many places to live here. We decided to go ahead and do a live show every Saturday so that we could say, hey, you could do this. This is how it's going to be to live here. It's so robust. It's always changing. There's so many people moving here. There's so many different opportunities for it. People just think, oh, DC's expensive. Oh, I have to live. You can literally live anywhere in the DC metro area to get where you need to get for your work. There's transportation options. There's housing options for just everybody. If you only want to spend $300,000 on a house, there's a place for you to live here and do that. And if you're okay with commuting for an hour, I mean, think about Atlanta. Everybody in Atlanta commutes for an hour. It doesn't matter where they live almost, unless they live like right in the city center. It's just becoming like a way of life for us. The difference with this area is they are honed in on getting the transportation part right. They're honed in on it. And what I love about living in Virginia is it's still the South. Let's just keep it real. I'm a Southern girl and I like the vibe of the South. I know a lot of people are afraid of it or whatever, but I'm a Southern girl. So I love Virginia because it's still the South. But they're so progressive here. It's just really, really refreshing to live in that type of environment. It's your fault.
Of course it is. Of course it's my fault.
He always says that, y'all. He thinks whenever I come and say, you're always telling me it's my fault. It's always my fault. You know what I'm saying?
Kids.
Get your questions in, guys. If you have some questions for us, go ahead and pop them in the comments.
Who's got a question?
The next thing is the DC vouchers program. I know a lot of people that currently live here or are thinking about moving here and you don't quite have everything together. DC has a housing program called DC Flex. It was a pilot program last year. It's for renters, and they're saying what they did with it last year is really, really showing promise.
Okay.
So it's for smaller families. It's more flexible rent subsidy. Then it's not a standard voucher, right? And we want to talk about this because, like I said, a lot of people think you move here and there are no options for things like this. The first year has found the program shows promise. So it says the voucher program is HUD's. It's called Housing Choice Voucher Program.
Okay.
Basically, Section 8.
Okay.
It's just, they keep changing the name on it.
Okay.
We used to own a lot of Section 8 property in Atlanta, so we're very familiar how that worked. So what it is their tenant rents a unit in the private market. It pays a given portion of their income in rent, and the voucher program pays the rest. But it's in short supply. So what DC did was they basically they had to come up with different programs.
Okay.
They had a wait list since 2013,
Wow.
which shows you the need for affordable housing
Right.
in this area, what they call the missing middle. And then you can do things like emergency rental assistance. There's a lot of different supportive programs here, but DC Flex was designed to fill a specific gap that the other programs don't address.
Okay.
So the program offers smaller households an annual subsidy of $7,200.
Oh, nice.
So, and then it allows them to choose how much of it to use throughout the year. And I think they were doing this because what was happening was landlords were saying, no, I'm not taking your voucher.
What?
Yeah. A lot of people be like, can you take Section 8 vouchers? And they'd be like, no, we're not taking that. So what DC got smart. They basically, you get two bank accounts.
Okay.
You have an escrow account and a checking account. And every year the escrow account gets $7,200. And then every month enough money is moved from the escrow account to the checking account to cover the full month's rent. So you're still actually paying that. So the voucher program isn't for the landlord. The voucher program is for the renter.
Nice.
So you go and you don't you don't have to get into it with the landlord saying I have a voucher, right? So then the rest of the household can decide how much money to take out of that account. They put more of the onus on the actual renter, which I think is really good. It teaches them a few things about money and things like that. We have a lot of young mothers out here that need that assistance, and then it's here. And they said,
That's dope.
They were saying how it wasn't, usually the $600 a month wasn't enough, but they felt that it was still a good program, and people said that they really wanted it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So about a third of the participants didn't use the full $7,200. I mean, I don't know why. By the end of the first year, and almost all the participants, researchers surveyed said they were satisfied with the program, according to a report. So this is good news.
Yep.
This is good news for those that need it.
Yeah.
Right.
I wonder if the money rolls over. Do you think
Yes.
that's why they were not?
It rolls over.
Maybe that's why they were sort of hesitant to use the entire 7,200. Maybe because they kind of say, "Oh, let it roll over to next month or next year, and
Right.
that'll just make it that much better for rainy day kind of thing."
Exactly. And
That's
it's what. Good morning, Russell.
What's up, Russ?
So no questions this morning. We got all old school people
It's
on
all
here.
right.
It's all right. It's
we
all
don't,
right.
We don't mind the Heath and Tracy regulars.
No, we don't.
Shout out.
We
shout
love
out,
you all. We love that.
Love
You all
out
know
to-
everything now.
Love out to the regulars of the show. That's what's up. Russell changed his picture.
He sure did. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. Let's see. Anthony, what you got here? Let's see. Love your channel. Good morning, Anthony.
What's up,
Welcome
Anthony?
to the show. This is my fiance and I can't wait to leave Houston and move to the DMV after I. Oh, congratulations.
Oh, that's what's up, Anthony.
I love that.
We got all the information for Anthony, right?
Yes, we do.
We got the relationship game. Tracy and I have been married for 31 years. We are certified marriage counselors. We have lots of free content out there. There are all kinds of things that we can talk about. Check out our podcast as well. And then, of course, we're here every weekend as well. So we've got some cool things coming down the pike. So I think some engagement with Heath and Tracy for Anthony Nelson and his fiance are in the immediate future.
I think the move from Houston to the DMV,
H-Town.
that's a big one.
It is. Mm-hmm.
That's really cool, you guys.
Yeah, congratulations.
That is a big one. Congratulations. It's very different from Houston.
No doubt.
The biggest thing I would say is different from Houston is I feel like the infrastructure kind of feel is going to be a lot better. I think your housing options it'll be tighter here. Like, to me, Houston's really spread out.
It is.
Right. What else would you say about Houston? You've actually been there more than I have.
I've only been there once.
Oh.
Jasmine's been there a lot.
Jasmine's been a lot. Our oldest daughter has her best friends live in Houston.
Yeah, but Houston is kind of spread out. I've heard people say that Houston actually has 2 downtowns, so it's really spread out in terms of how it's set up logistically and that kind of thing. It definitely is a southern town. It's a big city. A lot of Fortune 500 companies have headquarters in Houston. I would think. I think the number I saw last time was like 15, 20.
But what would you
Fortune
say
5
is the feel as far as difference? I don't know. I feel like DC feels.
Houston, I think, probably feels slightly more southern than DC.
Okay, I can take that.
Yeah, it has a certain sophistication. I think what you'll see about the DMV is, there's some sophisticational vibes in DC in terms of like
sophisticational.
Yeah,
That's a new word.
I just made up a word.
Okay,
it's cool. There's some there's some sophisticational vibes around DC. It's very multifaceted in terms of the diversity and the culture. You don't have the plethora of tall buildings in DC like you do in Houston, so that's one thing that actually makes DC cool, right? Because
I like that about DC.
The historical monuments and those kinds of things, and so you have the height restrictions because of, I think the statute was that nothing can be taller than the Washington Monument or something like that. But the point is that DC's skyline is very beautiful and historical versus being full of tall buildings. But in terms of just kind of vibe and feel, I think you'll definitely like DC.
So they are thinking about putting tall buildings in DC. And most people here are kind of against it, but we have a housing shortage in DC.
Yep.
They say we need like 40,000 units right now.
Got to go vertical.
So we have to go vertical.
Yep.
So the thing about it I love is that as you go around DC, it feels like a European city.
It does.
You know, you have sidewalks and you have homes that have been here for 100 years, and you know,
circles.
A lot of greenery, a lot of park, a lot of circles, just a lot of old feel kind of vibe in the city.
Very true.
So I think if you get into putting all these tall buildings in place, it's really going to ruin that. We also like the fact that when we drive along the parkway, we can look over and the tallest things we see are like the Washington Monument and the Capitol. If you get taller, you're not going to be able to see that stuff. So I think they have to figure out a way to figure out the housing thing without ruining what the city looks like. I hope they can do that.
And you do have some taller buildings in some pockets, right? In some of the suburban areas.
Roslyn, Boston.
You know, you can go out to Tyson's. There's some tall buildings. There are parts of Maryland that have tall buildings. But in terms of downtown
Bethesda.
DC, it's very cool, nice and clean.
And I think they need to keep the tall buildings out there.
Yeah, I mean, you go to New York, you know, it's just like boom, tall buildings. It's just like you can't even see. It's just the concrete jungle.
But it's not like that
DC
here.
is not like that.
And we're going to get into that too in the show. Let's see, Tamara. Good morning, Tamara. Welcome to the show. It says thanks for the commuting updates. I mean, it's important. It's important to know where I live, how I'm going to get around. Transportation is huge, and I think a lot of people forget that when they're moving to a new city. How am I going to get around?
Right.
I like this apartment. I like this house. I like this community. I like this neighborhood. Okay, well, how am I going to get around?
Right.
So you really, really have to hone in on that when you're making your move, because it adds to the quality of your life.
It does.
You know, a lot of people are like, ooh, all of our friends actually, when we moved to Virginia, they're like, ooh, you moved to Virginia. It's an old school Virginia, D.C., Maryland thing. No big deal. But actually, most black people live in Maryland, not in Virginia.
Brown-skinned folk.
Yeah. Ooh, I got to be careful with the words, because last week we were talking about the census.
Yeah,
so I kept saying a certain word. And YouTube was like, you can't say that.
I don't know. No, they didn't say that.
They said we're going to limit your whatever.
We're going to limit the ads on your video.
Yeah, we're going to limit stuff because.
We're like, what? This is a family show.
So I told them to review it by a person.
We were like, Heath and Tracy doing family shows out here.
You know what I'm saying? And they were like, okay, we're going to check it out. And they were like, oh, y'all okay. So I can't say certain words. But anyway, we're going to show you that in a minute, too. Joseph Brooks has a question. Hey, Joseph, welcome to the show. Okay, look, welcome. Dirty Bird.
I see it. That's the old school logo. On Joseph Brooks's picture is the old school Grits Blitz.
How's it making you feel?
Claude Humphrey, Steve Bartkowski, Dave Hampton, Big Ben.
I don't even
left.
know these people.
This is old school Atlanta right there. So shout out, Joe.
Let's get back to his question.
Are there any hidden fees or taxes people don't take account of? Hidden fees. That's an excellent question, Joe. I'll give my take on it, and then I'll let Queen Tracy weigh in from her perspective. When I think about this question, I think about the commuting piece and having a car if you are living and moving around in the city in DC proper. And the reason I say that is because your car can create a hidden tax for you if you are not understanding how to navigate the city. So by that, I mean, if you're driving all the time, that means that you're going to be paying for parking all of the time.
All the time.
And if you don't want to pay for parking all the time and you park on the street all the time, you are going to get parking tickets.
All the time.
And if you do a hybrid of those things, then you're going to get a few parking tickets, but then you're going to pay some money for parking as well. And if you're driving in DC all the time, you certainly will run into some traffic cameras, And if you are exceeding the speed limit by more than 12 or 15 miles an hour, which is not hard to do when the speed limit is 25 or 30 in most parts of DC, you're going to get tickets in the mail. So
That's very common.
So those things are what come to mind when you say hidden fees and hidden taxes. So there definitely is a car tax when you are living in DC proper or moving around in the DMV frequently. So you have to be cognizant of those things. Let me see if there's anything else I want to say about that. You have anything to add on that, baby?
So the car thing is kind of a hidden tax thing here.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot speed within DC city limits. They're actually thinking about lowering the speed limit to 10 miles an hour, if that gives you an idea. The other thing about DC is they have these bike lanes everywhere. Same thing in Virginia. They have bike lanes everywhere. So you just have to really, really be cognizant of your car when you're going to functions. Where are you going to park? Are you going to pay for parking? Are you going to park on the street? Then you have to, the other hidden tax thing is going to be people dinging your car. I think you don't drive your nicest car into the city, or
Or just only drive it on Sunday.
I hate to say that, but it's so many people in the city. It's so dense, and a lot of people drive their cars that I hear so many things of like people swiping people's cars on the street. Another thing is in the DC neighborhoods and in Virginia neighborhoods and in some Bethesda neighborhoods, you have to park on the street. That's your parking. And so what happens is people break into your car. They break into your car because they're crazy. They break into your car because they want some change. They break, whatever the reason is, they want to break into your car. They do. And so I just would really, really be cautious about my automobile moving here. We were fortunate enough to find a home that has a garage. So one thing we make sure of is that we always park in our garage, and we always close the door.
Yep.
Because we don't live in a really urban area, but if you do live in an urban area, you want to be able to pull into your driving area, take everything out of your car, and bring it in the house. Yeah. You just don't want anything of value in your car. So if you're into really, really nice cars, you have a really, really nice car, get a garage.
Some people put the little bumper thing that hang out of their trunk. And so, like, if you're parking on the street and somebody's parallel parking, a lot of times somebody's going to back into you, or they're going to pull into the front of you. And so, so some people kind of want to prevent those scratches and dings from their car. So there's
you're going to get them.
There's like a little thing you can buy and like hang off the back when you leave your car.
The other thing is putting your mirrors in. You have to have a car that pulls the mirrors in if you're going to come back and not have a mirror. It's just, you got trucks in the city, you got bikes in the city, so people they swipe you, and it just happens.
Yeah, it's very common to see people that have like nicks and dings and scratches
on their car,
scrapes on the side of their car.
Nice car. It's just normal. It's just normal. So just keep that in mind with your car when you move here. Yeah, that it's gonna get a little bang.
Shout out Joe Brooks, old school Atlanta. I like it.
Russell, what's up, Russell?
My man, Russell.
Okay, what's the difference between Virginia and Maryland as far as gas prices, car insurance, taxes, and some of the laws?
Okay, let's see. Where shall we start?
I know. You have to admit. So, Virginia is more expensive to live in, like monthly rent, monthly mortgage, than Maryland.
Okay.
Gas prices, it depends.
I think they're similar.
They're similar. It's not that much of a difference.
Let me speak on the gas.
Okay. Because I don't put gas in my car. He does. Thank you, love.
The gas prices are similar throughout the metro area, but I have noticed that they are higher in the district proper. I have seen that.
Oh, yeah.
If Tracy and I really want to do the best we can on paying for gas, we're going to Costco.
Yep. Which is in the district, but it's still cheaper.
Yeah. So we're going to Costco to fill up. Outside of that, it's going to be high. Plus, we run at premium anyway, so it's always high.
But during that time, earlier this summer, or was it spring, when gas prices like shot up, there was gas in the city that was like $5, and I was like, oh, we just gonna get home. I'm not doing that. Whereas in Virginia, it was like 3 something.
I think we say you paid close to 7 one day.
Yeah, he was in the city.
Right.
That's his spot.
Yeah.
So Maryland and Virginia are about the same as far as that's concerned. You're going to pay more for your house in Virginia, but you're going to get more house in Maryland for less. Like if you pay $800,000, let's say $500,000, you pay $500,000 for a house. It's going to be pretty much the same between Virginia and Maryland. If you go higher up, if you go into the 800, 900,000, your house in Maryland is going to be a little bit bigger, and you're gonna have more land. Whereas in Virginia, you'll get a big house and you won't have that much land. What else? In car insurance, what I actually looked at everything. So car insurance, for some reason, is more in Virginia. It's more in Maryland. When we left North Carolina, our car insurance went down.
From here.
When we moved,
it was
to
higher
Virginia.
in North Carolina.
It was higher in North. It was like 3 times higher in North Carolina. It went down when we moved to Virginia.
I think the other thing connected to that is that we moved here post Panorama, and because of that, we weren't really doing commuting. So I think because we had good driving record and the kids are older now and those kinds of things, and I wasn't really doing a whole lot of commuting. When we had the conversation with the insurance people, I think they were just like, y'all ain't even really driving. So why should your insurance be
Is
high?
that what he told you?
No, that's just what I deduced just from paying insurance.
Because they were surprised too. The insurance people were surprised too. They were like, oh yeah, it is lower.
Yeah.
The other thing, taxes. So on our paycheck, we also chose Virginia because the taxes are a little bit better. I think because Maryland is a smaller state, they got to get all their money from y'all. So it's almost similar to New Jersey, to be honest with you. The taxes in Maryland are pretty high. Property taxes are higher. Payroll taxes are higher. Whereas in Virginia, we found that those things were lower.
Yeah.
Laws. So I don't believe you can have cannabis in Maryland. They're one of the Virginia is actually the first southern state that is going to decriminalize cannabis. So that is a major difference. What you have to think about with Virginia is because there's so much enterprise here, there are a lot of large companies here. You got Capital One headquarters, you got Amazon HQ2, you've got Khaki, Khaki.
Yeah, it's a lot of industry around.
A lot of industry in Northern Virginia. They have to conform to what those companies are looking for their employees. So Virginia is a lot more progressive. You have to remember, Delaware is the South. I know it doesn't feel like it, but Delaware is the South. Maryland is the South. Virginia is the South.
Right.
And that mindset is still kind of here, whereas Virginia just made cannabis. They just decriminalized cannabis.
I think another difference is connected to firearms, Russ. And so, like, I have a buddy who lives in Maryland. Was like, hey man, I want to get some ammo for my weapon, but I can't get it shipped here. Can I send it to you? Right? Because I'm in Virginia, but he's in Maryland, right? So that's another nuance kind of a thing.
And before we did that, we checked if we could do that, and we could. So our friends that live in Maryland, if they need anything related to ammunition, it comes to our house because it can't come to their house.
Yep.
So you have to keep things like that in mind.
Great question, Russ.
And that's the thing you have to think about when you live in a 3-district region, like what's legal here, what's legal, because it's all different. You know, when you cross the line, when I cross the bridge to go into DC, I got to break down the speed. I'm gonna get caught if I speed, literally.
They ain't gonna catch me. I'll be out here driving like I'm 75.
Okay, please stop. Please stop. Let me tell y'all something.
I drive like I'm 80.
Now he does. I showed him a $700 ticket. I was like, no, baby, you need to break down. Because a
$700 ticket?
Yeah, we had $700 worth of ticket from coming to DC back and forth.
Oh, yeah, that was
we sure did. How quickly we forget.
You said a $700 ticket.
Yeah, that's what they send you. This is for everything.
It was a cumulative, multiple tickets.
Yes. All right. Joseph says, excellent. Thanks. Very interesting. We're planning to move to Reston. Oh, Reston was my second home when I was younger. My stepfather played for the Washington football team. It wasn't the Washington football team at that time. Can I say Skins?
I guess you can.
Because I think pork skins when I think skins.
I think you can say Skins, baby.
He worked for the pork skins. He played for the pork skins. The Washington football team. And we had a home in South Florida and we had a home here in Reston. And Reston is amazing. Reston is a planned community. Mm-hmm. Reston is...
We went past Reston yesterday, didn't we?
We sure did.
Or the day before yesterday?
Day before yesterday. Mm. We have friends that live out that way. It's more affordable, I guess you could say, and it's still close proximity. They have the Silver Line. They've got a lot of companies out there. It's like if you don't want to do Tyson's, you want more of a family situation. Reston is awesome. So Reston is a great place to live.
Big ups, Joe.
Good morning, Wim. Welcome to the show. It says, so for people who don't own a car and are only used to walking in public transportation, it's a great place to live within DC itself. Most definitely.
Yeah, and just dovetailing on that, Wim, also there are areas around DC that are in Maryland, that are in Virginia, that also work from that perspective, right? And so, doing a combination of walking, leveraging Metro, an occasional Uber or Lyft, you definitely can navigate the DMV. Our daughter lived here for 10 years without a car, and so
she had a car part of that time.
For the majority of her 10 years, she didn't have a car.
She didn't.
And so you definitely can navigate the DMV. But yes, if you're in the city, it's probably easier to navigate it, or near a metro station, right? And kind of traditionally, you'll find that the real estate that is near a metro station or walkable to a metro station is going to be a bit higher than other areas. But you can really find some cool living scenarios based on that. So yes, you don't need a car, but you do need to understand that the summer it gets really hot and humid, and in the winter it does get cold and
wet,
and occasional snow and very wet in like January, February. But outside of that, yeah, it's completely dope, and you can definitely navigate it without a car.
But Lyft and Uber are rampant.
Yep.
That's nothing here.
Yep.
It's like you can get it anywhere, anytime. It just doesn't. It's very, very easy to get a Lyft or an Uber here.
Absolutely.
Okay, let's move into density since we're talking about living in DC. So after we came back from the census, we got all the census information. They're saying that which neighborhood in Greater Washington, the DMV, has the highest density. Hint, it's not in DC. So this goes back to what we were talking about with the high rises and everything. Okay. So this is a chart of let me go back to the density. Is this one? No, I'm gonna go back to this one. So what they're saying is Logan Circle, which is one of the major areas in DC, was the number one spot for density. Most people lived around there, and the reason was because they had a lot of high-rise apartments. Remember the Mondrian and
back in the day,
Eaton and Sutton Towers and everything. And so it's
sitting
like
around Sutton doing nothing.
Yeah, sitting around Sutton doing nothing. That's a Howard thing, y'all. What y'all doing? Sitting around Sutton doing nothing. So Massachusetts Avenue, that area, that whole corridor, Logan Circle, it was the densest region for the last 10 years, so to speak. And it like moved up into Columbia Heights, which is where they had a new Target and everything. Just really, really cool areas to live in DC. Scott Circle. So what has happened though is because they haven't been able to build new things, right? Because you can only go up so high. Remember we were talking about high rises?
Yep.
You can only go up so high in DC.
Yep.
That density has now moved. Are y'all ready for this? To Boston corridor in Virginia.
There are a lot of tall buildings in Boston too. Taller.
Yes. Yes. So we've talked about Boston. If you go back into our videos, we talked about Boston a little bit.
And we're not saying BOSTON. We're saying BALLSTON.
Yeah. BALLSTON.
It's right up the street from where Tracy and I live.
It says the Boston quarter. So it's basically
it's like 5-10 minutes.
The center of town for us.
5 minutes from us.
Right. It's split into three. You got the Boston Metro Station, and then they have like where this mall, and it's like a triangle. It's like this vibrant downtown area. It's grown past 6,000 people just in that. I mean, it's literally just 3 or 4 blocks.
Square blocks, yeah.
but it's like 6,000 people that live down there because all of the housing is tall. So they said that for decades, Arlington is trying to do, so Boston is Arlington, just so you know, Roslyn is Arlington, Crystal City is Arlington,
Yep.
Pentagon City is Arlington.
Correct.
Those 4 places I just mentioned have all high rises. DC can't have those high rises like that.
Right.
It says for decades have encouraged high rise residential and offices in the blocks immediately. And there's the orange line and the blue line. So when you talk about orange line, blue line, and high rises, they're only allowing it in certain areas. And right now, Virginia is leading that pack.
Yep.
So when you talk about that, you're gonna get more people, and they're trying to copy that. Remember we said East Falls Church, they're going to put a high rise over that metro station. They're finding that combination works.
Yep.
A high rise near the metro, put a Whole Foods or something there. People are going to run to it.
I know Wim Haynes would like that.
Who?
Wim Haynes.
Yes. That would be perfect. That's why I went ahead and segued to this, Wim, because that's what you'll be looking for. You'll be looking for a high-rise kind of situation, or what's cool about what they're doing, because they're starting to do it in Arlington where we live now. People are going, rah, 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 is along the main street corridors, they're going to allow up to 10 stories. Up to 10 stories, and people are a little mad because their houses are right behind that.
Right.
Their $1 million houses are going to back up to this stuff, but we got to put people somewhere that's not going to break their bank.
Yeah, this is that whole kind of shadow thing that cast that was a topic of conversation in DC proper as well, right? Because when they started allowing people to go up a story or 2 stories on their row house in DC, then the people that are kind of attached or behind you, all of a sudden they have kind of this shadow over their house, and so
because that's a big thing.
It happens.
That's a big thing in DC. So people will take a row house, they'll blow the roof off, add 2 more stories. One of those stories is like a master bedroom or something like that, and then they'll put like a rooftop patio on top of that because the views are just amazing because all the buildings are low.
Right.
You just see treetops and, you know, other people on rooftops, and then you can actually see the Capitol. You can actually see the monument. And so the views on rooftop buildings are really cool around here. But the thing to keep in mind about Virginia is as we go up, as Virginia, Bethesda, Chevy Chase, they're starting to build these high rises. You're going to get more people living there.
Yep.
And then what they want is all those people that live in close proximity can support a wide array of dining choices, retailers, multiple grocery stores, and pharmacies. Because it's like, oh, how many people live in this area? I used to be in real estate. And we would not be able to pull a neighborhood out of the ground and get a grocery store there until the grocery store or shopping center developer could say, how many people are going to live there? But because we were building single family homes, they wouldn't come until like half the neighborhood was done. So it was hard to sell because people were like, well, where's the grocery store? We're like, oh, it's coming. Yeah, I got to do my job so it'll come. It was a lot of pressure, you know, because people were like, you told me a grocery store was going to be here. It's like, well, get your neighbors to buy. Well, you won't have that issue here because you'll have the tall buildings already. So boom. You got the grocery stores. They already know. They know a 20-story building's going up or a 10-story building's going up. They're like, oh, I want to be there.
Pro tips.
So that's the cool thing about it. So look in Arlington too. If you're looking to, like Wim said, if you're looking to just not have a car, want to be in the thick of it, want to be able to get around really easily, want all your services, look at the high rises. And a lot of the high rises are new too. Yep. But the pro tip is look at the older buildings around the high rises. They're probably going to be half. Your rent,
definitely a little less,
or your purchasing power your purchasing power will double, and your rent will be half. I do it all the time. Whenever I'm driving around, I see these little old buildings and all this new stuff. I look it up, apartments.com, realtor.com. They're right there. They're right there. They're in the same spot. And the rent is half. It's crazy.
Heath
but
Tracy
you know, it's not going to be advertised because they got a waiting list. But if you go in, you call them, you talk to them, they'll tell you when something's coming up.
Heath and Tracy.
Somebody died, somebody moved, you know, whatever.
Pro tips.
Okay. Good morning, Reality Doll.
Reality Doll in the building.
Good morning.
Welcome back.
she's got a question. It says, "Is Maryland more liberal than Virginia?"
It's about the same in terms of Northern Virginia and
Yeah.
Maryland. Now you get to Southern Virginia, completely different.
Is Southern Virginia? I'm just kidding.
Ba ba ba.
Y'all, Southern Virginia, they want to split from us.
Yeah. It's pretty red.
They're about like Texas.
Yeah, it's pretty red.
Southern Virginia is about like Texas.
Mhm.
And I say Texas because it's somewhat progressive. You got Richmond down there. But that is where they were marching with the tiki torches at night, was Southern Virginia, Charlottesville area. A lot of the beginnings of our country began right there.
Yep.
Just to give you an idea
There you go.
of the foundation.
Yeah.
But Northern Virginia, they not having it. And
Yeah.
that's it's a weird difference. The other thing I'd like to say is in Northern Virginia, you have a lot of high income people. You have people, you have billionaires in Northern Virginia. You have people worth 200, 300, 400 million, just, in the neighborhoods in Northern Virginia.
High income, high education.
So they're more conservative also. Keep that in mind. But for the most part, and now that I think about it, Maryland is the same way. If you go out into rural Maryland, that's the orange guys area.
Yeah, but if you look at the states in terms of how they voted,
Because it's still the South.
how they voted, and the
Yeah.
demographics, both areas are very blue.
Fallon Dean, welcome to the show.
What's up, Fallon?
It says, "I wish you can add closed caption."
Okay.
Oh, that would be pretty cool, wouldn't it? I don't think we can do it while we're live streaming. I'm pretty sure I can add it afterward, but I don't think I can add it during.
We'll check it out.
It says, "My husband and I are thinking where we want to live if there are job opportunities." Oh my gosh, are there job opportunities in DC, Heath?
They are everywhere. They are plentiful. You name it, it's here. That was a short
but
answer.
what kind of job opportunities?
What kind of job you want?
Yeah, I guess you could say that. So there's lots of restaurants, lots of new restaurants moving here.
I mean, there's a job shortage throughout the country. I mean, there's a
Job shortage. There's no job shortage here.
There's a talent people shortage throughout the country, right? Y'all seen the thing on the internet that says everybody in America is understaffed right now.
Yeah.
Be nice to the people that showed
be
up.
nice to people.
Be nice to the people that showed up.
But real talk, I'm gonna stop going out just so y'all know. I'm gonna get like the rest of y'all. I'm gonna stop going out because I'm not playing with this thing anymore. Okay, so as far as job opportunities here, you're going to be looking at the more professional, technical side. I hate it when people say unskilled labor. To be honest with you, if you told me, Tracy, you got to wait these tables right here for $500,000, I would have a real hard time.
Because I don't have the skills.
Because I don't have those skills. That takes skill. I hate it when they say unskilled labor because I just don't believe in that.
But
so,
in terms of government work, tech work, project management, program management,
the jobs are plentiful.
Anything around the tech space.
The cool thing around the tech space is that all you need is a cert, a few certifications to get jobs. One of my son's friends graduated from high school, lived in Bethesda, went to Montgomery Community College, got a certification for gaming, I believe it is, and got a job with Bethesda Games for $80,000 a year at the age of 19. It's just not hard to get a job here if you have certain skills.
It's out here.
It is here. That I don't really hear many people in this area saying I couldn't find a job. That's just not something real around here.
No.
It's just, I don't even know how to describe it. I understand it in other areas, but here it's just not a thing.
Yeah, you just have to understand what your skills are, what you're interested in, and put your plan together. If you want to talk more about that, you can reach out to us separately.
Yeah, Heath has a Calendly. Oh, that's the other thing. Hold on with this question. Are you going to do Tech Tuesdays? Have you decided?
Yeah, Tech Tuesday is going to be a thing.
So, y'all, we're going to go live Saturdays at 11. We haven't figured out Mondays for our relationships show. Marriage Mondays. We're going to figure out a time. I think we're going to fall in the 8 o'clock hour.
In the evenings.
And then Heath's going to have Tech Tuesdays.
Mm-hmm.
What time yet? Do you know, baby?
Yeah,
Give us some ideas. Tell us. This is your show too.
Probably.
So tell us what a good time for Tech Tuesdays is on Sunday, and then Mondays. What's a good time to talk about relationships? We know this is a good time for Saturdays talking about what's going on in the DMV.
Mm-hmm. Boom.
All right, let's go back.
Reality doll in the building.
I have previously worked with someone from Maryland.
Mm-hmm.
He has always said it was the East. He has always said it was the East Coast.
Okay.
He would complain about the South.
Mm-hmm.
He's clueless. I'm sorry. I always believed Virginia was Southern still, but it seems that Virginia doesn't claim that.
Yeah.
I'm really okay. These are such good questions.
I'll speak on it, baby.
Ugh,
I'll speak on it.
as a Southern girl, it just hurts my
Southern
heart.
girl.
Go ahead.
People in DC don't think they're in the South. But the geography says otherwise.
Look at the history.
Hey, if you below the Mason-Dixon line, you are the South.
The Mason-Dixon line is
So,
up there.
you
It's
know,
way above us. It'd take me like 2.5 hours to get to the
You
Mason-Dixon
can claim
line.
the East Coast, but hey, if you go to New York and tell somebody that you live in Maryland and you live in the North, they're gonna be like, bruh. I don't think so.
This ain't New York. It's not even close.
This is not the North.
We go to the Northeast on a regular basis.
Mm-hmm.
It is so different.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what your friend's talking about. I know they're trying to separate themselves from their roots, but there were plantations in Maryland.
Yes.
There were
Real talk.
plantations in Delaware.
But there's a difference, I guess you can say, the South, the deep South, right? And I think a lot of times
That's the difference.
people are thinking the deep South, and that's why they maybe are trying to make a distinction. But yes, contrary to popular belief, Maryland, the District of Columbia, and Virginia are all in the South.
Yeah. When the enslaved people, our ancestors were released to freedom, they settled on what is now Arlington Cemetery. Okay. If you drive around Northern Virginia, some areas you can see the remnants. It's still black neighborhoods there. So it pains me when our people deny that.
Yeah.
That is a part of our history, and we need to embrace it, grab it by the horns, and ride that monkey, because we built this. I didn't want to say ride something else.
Okay, baby, that's fine.
We built this. We built DC.
Yeah.
Okay, enslaved people built this area. They built the plantations in Maryland. They built all of this.
Yep.
So to say that denies a lot for us. And as a Southern person, it pains me, And the whole idea about what living in the South is, and what Southern people are like, is so skewed. Especially for us, it's so skewed. It's just not like that. It's super progressive. You get the media's answer to what it is. I hear people all the time, I'm not moving to the South. Are you crazy? It's like, you missing out big time. Because I've been to other parts of the country, and it's not even close. It's not even close. So just keep that in mind. And that's why we're here, too. That's why we're here.
We're going to keep the vibes up.
What's Russell got?
What you got, Russ? I read a magazine in the early 2000s that Tyson's Corner, or maybe Fairfax, Virginia, was like, Vienna was like a Silicon Valley area. Like in California. Can you speak to that? Yeah. So from a tech perspective, it's not something that's talked about a lot in this area, Russ, but I can attest, my friend, that Northern Virginia, man, has a plethora of tech companies. And real talk, to that point, which is another reason that I'm going into the Tech Tuesday segment on that we're talking about doing, is because any company in today's environment is a tech company, right? And if you're not leveraging technologies, cloud technologies, to advance what you're doing to create more agility and speed in the course of your business, then you get left behind, right? And so the idea is that, yes, there are a concentration of companies out there that are tech centric across industry verticals, and so absolutely that is still happening, and there is a lot of money circulating out there in conjunction with the government centric scenarios.
So most of our circle, let's see, Salesforce, AWS, Cisco. Where else? next door is
Service
Capital
Now.
Capital One.
Capital Now.
Capital One. Those every company has a tech department. Every company has
A
those
tech
people.
component.
Yeah, every company has an IT department. So if you think about the number of companies here, and yes, Tyson's Corner has a lot of them. It's now that I think about it, the traffic patterns do flow from Tyson's Corner.
Tyson's and Dulles.
Tyson's Dulles area. We drove past Dulles this week, and it's
Building after building
it's
after
very
building after building.
techie feel. It feels very Silicon Valley-ish. It's very wide open spaces, big giant buildings with servers in them. That's how it feels going out to Loudoun County. Okay.
Yep, you spot on, Russ.
So what we talking about with Design Your Life, Heath?
Yes, this is a portion of the show where we're designing your life and giving you some pro tips of how you can increase your emotional intelligence and approaching your life in ways that can make you less anxious, write more often.
Oh my gosh,
and
hold
more
up,
successful.
Hold up.
Oh, I got to pause. Oh, my man Ron Hisson. Ron Hisson coming through with the super chat game. My man Ron, Heath and Tracy legend on the show. Ron, always beautiful to see you, and love to have as always, my man.
Awesome show today.
Thank you, Ron.
Lots of good information. We worked so hard on it. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Ron.
And if you're not into hitting that, I know some people are like, I don't want to because of that. We do have a PayPal me. It's Heath and Tracy DBA.
Yeah. Shout out to my man Ron.
Thank
all
you
my
so
friends
much, Ron.
In the A, my hometown. Yes. So we were talking about designing your life.
Yes. Can changing your mind make you less anxious, right? More often and more successful.
And we got to pause again. Everything freeze. Russell Adams. My man Russ.
Thank you, Russ.
Shout out to my man Russ. We appreciate you showing the love. Yes. Supporting the show. Shout out to my man Russell Adams. Always good to have Russell.
And we know you have more questions, so go ahead and put them in the comments. We're going to get back to those.
No doubt.
So can changing your mind make you less anxious, more right more often, and more successful?
Right more often and more successful. Well, as humans, we're programmed to think we're right anyway.
I am.
At all costs. In any conversation I've ever engaged Queen Tracy on, she is right. Whether she's wrong or not. She believes she is right. But coincidentally, all of us feel that way, right? And so there's some techniques that you can use to really understand how to even that out, right? So we're going to outline 4 here. One is sort of known as turning the hermit king against himself.
Now, what is that, baby?
Yeah, so the idea is that when you feel like you're right, then you put these walls up. Like, you can come at me with anything you want to come at me with. You can say this, you can say that, you can try to convince me, but my wall is up. I'm right.
So you got to turn that against itself, right?
That's exactly right. You got to think about it differently because really that's you're thinking that way in error. And so if you can begin to open yourself up and to see another perspective, to maybe think about this particular thing in a different way, then you may be surprised is that you might begin to see some validity of another argument or another approach.
I've gotten better at doing that.
Yes, you have.
Thank you. It
Very
says
much.
the message for the Hermit King is this: if you are wrong, the best way to save face is to admit it.
Yeah, because people dig their heels in, and I'm gonna stay with it, and I'm gonna stay on what I said, and
Don't
I
do
said
that.
what I said, and blah 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 blah. But look,
Don't do that, guys.
if you figure out that you were wrong, admit it and move on.
What's the next one?
Welcome contradiction.
See, this is what we need to do as a society to improve society as a whole.
Yeah, and so what you have to do is you have to understand that you have a stance, you have a thought process, and now what you want to do is welcome some feedback and criticism and conversation, constructive information about what it is that you're talking about. I had to learn this with my new job and my new role, right?
Okay.
Because this is like part of the culture that we have is that you always solicit feedback. Go ahead, baby.
So basically, instead of saying you're wrong,
Mm-hmm.
say, tell me more.
Mm-hmm.
Let me, what else? Don't challenge people that think differently from you.
Mhm.
Pull it in, get closer to it, and find out what's the difference. Be more curious about it.
Yep.
What's the third one, babe?
Don't document all your beliefs.
Ooh, that's a hard one, especially with the internet.
So this one, I had some mixed feelings about, right? Because since you and I have been engaged in leveraging the internet for a lot of the things that we've been doing over the past few years, I've begun to think differently about maybe what my paradigm was before we were doing these things. And so what this concept is that, hey, in this world of social media that we live in today, if you are always talking about your opinions and your beliefs and you're sharing that with the world, sometimes that can get a little weird, right?
Right.
And people can leverage criticism at you. They can say things, and as simplistic as Tracy and I are, we get like
simple?
hate. Well, I'm saying in terms of the content that we do, it's not very controversial. It's not very cutting edge in terms of like having kind of a far left or far right or weird kind of position that we take on things.
Yeah, we don't hate on people,
and we still get hate sometimes, and we
do.
still get things, in our inbox, and people like saying crazy stuff to. We're like, really? But the point is that what you want to do is, maybe there are some things that you don't necessarily want to share with the world. You may have a thought about a certain thing or a certain topic, and then if you keep that to yourself, and then when you're engaging with strangers, it's a little different.
I think it's weird now because everybody's online, and you forget when you're on Facebook or you're on Twitter or on YouTube that you shouldn't just say everything. Don't just throw up everything that's in your head. Be cautious about that. It's just not that important. But it's a little different.
Don't show up and throw up.
What's the fourth one?
So start small. So when you're talking about the concept of changing your mind, you don't necessarily have to tackle like the biggest problems, like the world's biggest problems that you get. Oh, I gotta stop.
We gotta stop, y'all. Y'all keep interrupting us with these super chats.
I'm frozen. Woo! My man Adam Shelton coming through. We appreciate you, Adam. Thanks for sharing, man. Thanks for supporting the show, man. So Adam also has a question here. Adam says, are there any books you are currently reading?
Oh, this is such a good question.
Adam trying to get down into the mind.
And we'll have our reading list soon. Like I said, I'm redoing the website, and you'll see what we're reading right now. I wish you could get up and go get the books you're reading, babe. They're right over there.
That's all right. I got
I'm gonna go get mine.
Oh, here we go.
I'll be right back.
One I'm reading, Adam. One I've just gotten done with actually is Mindset by Carol Dweck. A lot of people in my corporate space are into that one, right? And it so has to do with having an open mindset about so many things as opposed to being closed off. So very similar to some of these concepts that we're discussing here today. And I think that you'll really like that one. It's called Mindset by Carol Dweck. Queen Tracy has another one that she's going to share. Show and Tell, Queen Tracy.
Y'all, I love this book.
Queen Tracy. Happy Pocket Full of Money.
Infinite wealth abundance is in the here and now. Y'all, get this book.
Queen Tracy, get the book.
Get this book. It's got, so this version, it's by David Cameron Gikandi. And this version has like where you can put notes and everything. I love this book. It is so eye-opening. It's a little woo-woo.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Love a little woo-woo.
Love a little woo-woo. It's a little woo-woo.
Okay.
But it just opened my eyes differently on how I think about substantive things in this world, material things in this world, and this world aligned to what God wants for us. So a happy pocket full of money is what I'm reading right now.
Good job, baby.
All right.
Okay, I want to go back to...
well, let's finish it. Start small.
So start small. So the idea is that instead of tackling like something that's giant, that's like super huge, if I said to Tracy, I think that we should stop being non-denominational Christians, and we should be hardcore Seventh-day Adventists.
That's too much. And the answer is no.
We can't just like, you can't just like flip the script and just like take on something giant like that, right? But what I can change my mind about is like, what am I gonna wear today? I thought I was gonna wear this outfit. I took this outfit out because we had planned to do X, Y, and Z, but now the vibe is a little different. So maybe I can just go ahead and change, taking into account the weather and what I feel and what Tracy's gonna rock. So start with something small.
So the 4 things are: turn the Hermit King against himself.
Yep.
Himself.
Break down the walls.
Welcome any contradiction from others.
Get the feedback.
Don't document all of your beliefs.
Don't put all your business out there in the street.
And last but not least, start small, y'all. Start small.
There you go.
All right, let's get back into the questions.
Yeah, we'll finish up the show with some questions from our audience.
So Wim has another question. Thank you, Wim. It says, we are thinking of an apartment on Connecticut Avenue.
Okay, I see you, Connecticut Ave.
In the area near the D.C. line. Okay, y'all fancy. Y'all fancy.
Y'all see the bus. I think it's dope.
The bus is great.
I think it's dope.
I think it's a great plan.
I mean, this whole concept that Tracy and I are doing the show, right, is really all about designing your life. Designing the life that you want, that makes sense for you, right? Where do you need to be? Where are you working? Where do you desire to live? What are the kinds of people that you want around you? What's the vibe you're looking for? Or you want that hardcore kind of like awesome electricity of being in the city, and you can still get to the points and everything that you need, walk to your local bodega, grocery store situation.
There's so many services up there too.
So
Gallery.
if that's what you want, if that's what you're looking for, I think it's phenomenal. I love your plan.
I love that plan. And the thing about it is you got Bethesda right above you, Bethesda Row, all the restaurants and shops up that way. And then you've got Mazda Gallery in that area. You've got great grocery stores there, really nice area with lots of vibrant people. It has homes in that area, it has condos in that area. I think that's a great plan. And Connecticut Avenue is one of those main corridors that gets you just about anywhere in DC. And then there's several stops on the red line up there. So that's a great place to be.
Love it.
Great place to be. So Reality Doll asks, so is this show ending or being replaced by another show? Absolutely not.
So Reality Doll, Queen Tracy and I are going to continue to do the Conversations with Heath and Tracy live every Saturday morning at 11 a.m. EST to demystify your move to the DMV.
Yes.
And you can still ask us anything. No, we're talking about adding shows, right? So we're talking about adding 2 more live shows.
Yep, that's what we're talking about.
There you go.
So give us ideas, guys. What do you want to talk about? Reality Doll has another one. Great point. I'm working on not saying everything I think on social media. That's so good.
Yeah.
Things can get taken out of context. That is so right. And sometimes I speak prematurely.
Yeah, sometimes it's the old school wisdom from the parent, the grandparent. Baby, don't put all your information out there in the street.
Yeah, and you have to think sometimes. I don't know how many times I've typed something and I've been like, no. Delete.
The juxtaposition of that is that since Tracy and I have been doing things in the social media space, I have come to know that this is capturing a moment in this day, in this time, in this thought process that we have right now at this moment. Now, you can go back and look at some videos that I did 5 years ago, and there might be 1 or 2 points in that video that I may have evolved in terms of how I think about those things. But the point is that you have to be strong enough to understand that, hey, this is my stance. This is what I believe. This is where I am. And that you don't have to be disagreeable to disagree with something, but some people don't think that way. So hey, there you go.
Okay, Charmaine. Hey, Charmaine.
What's up, Charmaine?
Is the Money Book a good Audible book, or is it more of a workbook? So the book, actually, I would do the book in this format first. I do have it on Audible also.
You do?
But I don't listen to the chapters on Audible until I've read and done the work here first. It's pretty deep. It's not an easy book, just so you know, but I think it's one of those books that you just kind of keep on your nightstand and work at. As you can see, I'm going back and forth here. So I just think it's one of those mindset type of books that gets you to another place mentally around our existence here and how money works and how it works within our spiritual beings. Because I'm a spiritual being having a human existence, just so you know.
And Queen Tracy now shares more of our reading list here in the coming days.
Crump 911.
My mind.
Crump.
What's up, my man? Good to see you. 919 Raleigh Durham in the building. What's up, Crop?
I love your books. Could you let us know what books y'all are reading each week? Oh my goodness, we sure can.
Yep, we'll share.
We are book people, so
We'll definitely
yes,
share.
we'll definitely share. I think that's a great idea. We can definitely add that to the show.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Ooh, Russell has a great question.
Okay, Russ said, what's up with the casino game?
They get live here, y'all, and they are in Maryland currently. They are thinking about putting some in Virginia.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And I think they're thinking about it in DC, but right now there are 2 casinos.
Yeah, right across the river is the MGM in Maryland. It's dope. A lot of beautiful development over there.
So nice over there, guys.
Mm-hmm.
I will say this: when I go over there, I feel like I'm in Vegas.
It does. Has Vegas
it's
vibes.
Really weird.
Definitely Vegas
It's
vibes.
like you're on the highway, you cross the bridge, you get off, and it's just like the people over there and the vibe over there. You can tell some people want some money. It's different. It's not residential at all.
Mm-hmm.
There are big, giant, beautiful buildings over there. You've got Top Golf over there, and you've got it's all in PG County.
Although there
really
are
cool.
there are some residences over there.
But they're like back behind,
Off in the cut.
cut.
You can live over there and walk to the casino.
Wow. There's shopping over there.
Yep.
There's a lot over there. It's all in PG County.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's some really nice casinos there, and they have great shows. That's when you look on the map and you see things about DC, you see the big Ferris wheel. That's where it is. So you got MGM. What's the other one? There's another one over there.
It is?
Is it just MGM?
I thought it was just MGM.
Okay, well, we have MGM casinos.
Yeah, it's huge. Though.
And it's huge. Maybe that's what it is. It's so big.
Because you're thinking about the Gaylord over there, too.
Oh, the Gaylord's not a casino. Right. That thing is huge. I've stayed there, actually. That is a massive building. Very Vegas feel. Mm-hmm. You know how you stay in a hotel in Vegas? It takes you forever just to get outside. It's like, oh, I'll meet you by the taxi stand. And it takes you 10 minutes to get there.
That's a good poll question for our audience today. Have you been to Las Vegas?
Oh.
Yes or no?
I can't do my yes or no.
All right.
Though.
That's
My
all
yes
right.
or no isn't working today.
But they can still weigh in, though.
Yes, they can.
So anyone listening here on the live or on the replay, if you've ever been to Las Vegas, Nevada, type a yes or no.
So I have been many
chat.
times. How many times have I been? Maybe 6, 7, 8. And I don't go to gamble.
You don't go to gamble?
No, I go for work.
You go for work. Yes. The times that I have been in Las Vegas, Nevada, I was also there for work. I have not been there on a pleasure trip that I recall.
Vegas is different. Oh, Russ has been 3 times.
Mm-hmm,
Okay, Charmaine has been. Yes, Ron, you have not been to Vegas. In my opinion, it's like go once, go once, and get it. You know, it's a big Disneyland for adults, to be honest with you. Now, I did hear that the Usher show was really good.
Okay.
But I was like, okay, first I have to lose a few pounds because he's got strippers on poles on stage.
So what does it have to do with losing a few pounds?
Because I can't be going up in there looking regular. You got to look good. No? Yes? Who feels me? So he's laughing. I get it. I'm not going to go to the show with you. And you up there looking at this girl doing all this fantastic stuff on this pole.
Okay.
And when we walk out, you just looking at me.
I feel what you're saying.
Okay. That ain't going to work.
I think I'm tracking with you. With you.
It's not an insecurity thing. It's a competition thing.
Got it. I got it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So for all of those folks who have not been to Vegas, well, it looks like everybody who's weighing in right now has been there.
Yeah.
So this is for my man Ron and anybody else who has not been to Las Vegas. Ron, if you're going to Las Vegas, you got to follow Queen Tracy's top 3 rules.
Oh, yes.
Rule number 1, you have to drink plenty of water.
You can drink a lot of stuff, but make sure you drink some water.
Drink plenty of water. That's number 1. Number 2, wear the most comfortable shoes that you have.
like I said, Disney World.
Because it is, you cannot believe the enormity of the size of these hotels. When Tracy said to me, hey, if you talk to somebody, you're in your room in Las Vegas and you tell somebody you're going to meet them like in the lobby, that's like 15 minutes.
Just to get to where they are.
That's 15 minutes to get from your room to the lobby, Ron. It's crazy. It's like you cannot believe how big these buildings are. So that's number 2. Number 3, don't drink or don't drink very much because that whole time difference.
Yeah,
right?
If you're on the
like
East
if
Coast.
you're on the East Coast and you're going out there and you're going to be there for a couple of days,
3-4 days, yeah.
And then when you start drinking and you're going to be staying up to like 3-4 o'clock in the morning, and now it's like 6-7 o'clock in the morning.
You feel like you have to go.
Is like, wow.
You feel like you have to go to the hospital when you get back to the East Coast. I mean, I did it 2 years in a row, and we always did our family trips because I went like right before Labor Day, and we would come back and do our family trips. And the whole family trip, I would just be like, oh my God, I feel dead. And I wouldn't even, well, I shouldn't say that. I'd be partying. But it was like, it was terrible. It just, by the second, third day, you felt like crap. My coworkers and I would be like, oh my God, can we go home? Everybody would be at the Delta desk going, can I get out of here, please? It was terrible. So just to enjoy yourself, don't drink that much.
Yeah.
Drink a little bit, like stick to the same drink. But if you drink a lot of water, like just overdo the water, you'll be fine. And then get your sleep. You got to get your sleep.
Yeah.
So if you go to Vegas, make sure you do those things.
And then one final thing, if you're not a smoker and cigarette smoke bothers you, you got to be real cognizant of that because you can smoke in the building, in the bar, in the restaurants, so that's a little weird if you don't.
One year I literally stayed in every hotel in Vegas on the Strip, and 1 year I stayed in the Cosmo, and I loved the property. It's a smaller property, has great views, but I said I'd never stay there again because their ventilation system is crap.
It wasn't good.
It was. I couldn't get any relief. I had to go out on the balcony, which there's no such thing as clean air in Vegas. I had to go out on the balcony just to breathe, but I didn't enjoy my stay because of that. The other thing is bring your dollars.
Where the dollars at?
I had coworkers from Africa come, and she had to buy 3 suitcases to take all the stuff she bought back home.
It's a good shopping out there in Vegas.
I went to one mall, y'all, and if I had a $500,000 credit card, it would have been to the limit. It would have been so easy. I would have done it in like 2 hours too.
Tony J said she would have maxed out the $500,000
I would have maxed out the $500,000 card immediately, and I don't shop.
Oh my gosh!
They have things in Vegas that you cannot buy anywhere else? So, go to Vegas, take your money, take your water.
Your comfortable shoes.
And you'll be good. You'll have fun.
Heath,
if you don't, you're going to hate it.
Y'all didn't know y'all was going to get the Vegas pro tips.
Yeah, we're Vegas veterans too, so who knew? Who knew? And the casinos, they're going to take your money. When we would fly out, we would basically fill up the whole plane, the company crew. Everybody be like, yeah. Other people on the plane be like, who are y'all and why don't y'all shut up? On the way back, we'd be like, can y'all turn out the lights? Can you turn off the lights? Can you stop talking, please? It was like quiet. That's how it is. You're just so worn out. You are so worn out. So it's like taking your kids to Disney World, going to Vegas, just so you know.
Good job, baby.
I think that's the show. Do we have any? No, we don't. And you are welcome. Reality says she's been a few times. Okay, girl. Yes.
Okay, Reality doll.
And Ron says, thank you for the tips. You are welcome.
Anytime, Ron Hisson.
Okay, y'all. We are closing out the show today. And we want to say thank you. Thank you for joining us. You could have been anywhere today. And we love you. And remember,
wherever you're going, don't just live there.
Design your life there. See you next week.